I'm not going to do that. Don't no. Like most mornings, I got up, got on my exercise bike, read the news clips from the preceding day, and managed to get a pretty good sweat in. My favorite non-tuna melt food is probably a hamburger. Hot dog, absolutely. It's a sandwich, of course, and you might not want to know what I put on it. Both ketchup, mustard, and occasionally mayonnaise. I always had a thing for Winston Churchill. I thought he was a fascinating historical figure and was somebody that showed you could come back against any odds. I felt like growing up in the 60s, I was old enough to be touched by the idealism of the 60s, but not old enough to get jaded by it. And somehow I've always had this urge. My parents weren't political, but I really felt public service, you could make a difference. That's easy. Basketball, any day, any week, any time. Probably American history. Well, actually two. One was Hoosiers, and the other was Field of Dreams. Well, it's not one, I'd say all three of my daughters. I'm really proud that during a period of enormous partisan bickering, I've kept the Intelligence Committee focused on protecting the men and women who work in our intelligence community, and have kept it bipartisan. I'm probably more a caller. I made my money in cell phones, so I always want to hear a person's voice. Probably take a really long bike ride, and then hopefully bring that group to have a great meal afterwards. The biggest learning experience was failure is not a bad thing. I've failed at almost anything I've tried, from business to politics. But if you can learn from that failure and pick yourself up, the next time things might go better. I'd love to have dinner with Winston Churchill and actually Napoleon. Well, some people say after they saw my tuna melt that I've never learned how to cook. So, kind of a little bit in high school, but nobody's gonna want to hang out with me for my cooking skills. Well, you're gonna be tall, but you're not always gonna be as goofy as you were at that point. Risk. Bob Dylan. That is somebody that got involved in the cell phone industry back in the early 80s. I still don't know what all the buttons on my cell phone does. Carpe diem.